Good time to weather-wise, and are they playing?
These are something from the other day.
Good morning.
Morning.
We ready?
Yep, I think we are. Everything turned off here.
I think we're ready to get started. I've asked Kathy Linhart to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stand in front of it, you guys can also.
Welcome to the August 14th, 2014 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chair of the commission and represent District 3. Alongside me is Kevin Cook, who serves as vice chair and represents District 2, and Commissioner Shelley Bueller, who represents District 1. Good morning and welcome, everybody.
Good morning.
First item, please.
Consent agenda?
Questions or comments about the consent agenda?
I do not have any questions.
Well, would you make a motion?
I would be, well, I didn't know if Commissioner Mueller
No,
might
I do not have any questions.
Then I
either.
would be happy to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook to approve the consent agenda as presented, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
New business, item A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have vouchers that total $1,320,532.38. The highlights out of the vouchers this morning, we have the Kansas withholding taxes, we have a bridge project with Public Works, we have Horizons Health Care for the inmates' health, the Kansas Expo Center, holding accounts with the state of Kansas, our payments to Blue Cross and Blue Shield for health insurance for our employees. Parks and Recreation had the highest out of the departments with $185,964.91, but that is just the cost of doing business in the summer with Parks and Recreation. See Betty coming to the stand, and then Public Works with $101,433.38. But I do not have any issues with the vouchers.
Betty Griner, Financial Administrator. I just wanted to make sure that you have 2 sets of vouchers.
Yes.
Okay. Because when you mentioned an amount, I did not check, but I wanted to make sure that that included the one check.
There is a second voucher for $344.90.
Okay. Thank you.
But I would move approval of both sets.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Number 2, there are no correction orders. Item number 3, public hearing regarding an economic development tax exemption for Crosswind Pet Foods, Inc., and consider resolution number 2014-62, exempting certain real property, owned by Crosswind Pet Foods, Inc., from ad valorem taxation for economic development purposes.
I think the appropriate motion now is to open the public hearing. I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer and seconded by Commissioner Bueller to open the public hearing regarding the resolution. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Mr. Crowell.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Crowell, Assistant County Counselor. Before you is an application for approval of an economic development tax exemption. You've received the packet. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have about the resolution, the application process, or any of the details of that. I'm not sure if there's a representative here. There is a representative here from Crosswood Pet Foods, the applicant. Be happy to answer any questions.
Are there questions for Mr. Crowell or the applicant?
I don't have any questions. I've had an opportunity to go through the packet, and I believe that I'm fully informed as to the business, its request for the tax exemption. I do not have any issue for the request for the tax exemption at this time.
Okay. Yeah, I reviewed the numbers too, and it looks like a good deal all the way around, so. Commissioner Bueller?
I was going to make a motion to adopt the resolution, but I think we have to hear public comments first before we
Yes.
close the public hearing and adopt. So,
Are there any participants in the public hearing on this issue?
not a move to close the public hearing and adopt the resolution.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller to close the public hearing and adopt the resolution, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Jim. Next item.
Item B, Audit Finance. Consider request for a business process review of the IVA system at a cost not to exceed $28,000.
Good morning. Betty Griner, Financial Administrator. Although I am presenting this, I want to point out that this request is coming not only from me, but from Cindy Beck, the County Clerk, Pat Oblander, the IT Director, and Larry Ma, the Treasurer. We have gotten together and collectively believe that this is a good thing for us to do. What we're looking at is a business process review for our software, which is IFAS. And just, they will come in, they will look at all of our processes, the workflow, all of that to see where we can have more efficiencies in the system. You know, one of my things I keep saying along time and time again is that we are trying to get to where we are more efficient in the way we process things, our whole processing system. And this is one of the ways that we think we can do this. You know, we have been trying to identify and implemented some savings in different items. The county clerk's office has, they have brought something to our attention, and then we have found some other things too that we've been able to implement. But I think there is so much more out there. I think as most software systems, you know, there's usually more it will do than you realize. So this is where they will come in and evaluate it for us. They will work with the actual users and look at the whole process. I think that, well, IFAS was implemented in 2008. We have not gone through this type of an evaluation since then. And you know how when you implement a program, you're trying to get it up and running and going. And I think it's time for us to really step back and look at this. Just some of the benefits that I see is I think it should improve our efficiencies, of course, as we've said. They will give us a detailed plan of different recommendations. I think that will include reporting, better reporting, so that, you know, our department heads can make better decisions. It'll improve our effective use of our technology, improve accountability, better integration with different systems, and then just that stimulus for change and for looking for better ways of doing it. This will cost approximately not more than $28,000, and I sincerely believe that it will more than pay for itself in savings. I believe that it will benefit the entire county, so therefore I am recommending that it be paid out of the county's general expense budget. And it will be a collective effort. It will be input from all of the different departments. So I ask for your approval to negotiate a contract with them.
Yeah, if I read this proposal correctly, it indicated that IFAS has some superior capabilities that we're really not utilizing now.
Correct.
And the bottom line is it'll improve customer service and save taxpayers money.
Yes.
And so I'm going to support this. Do you have any questions or comments, Commissioners?
I do just have one question.
Yeah.
As we go through the review, if there are department heads that say, I wish that IFAS had the ability to do X, Y, or Z, these consultants would be able to tell us how that program can work or what we need to do in order for that to be accomplished.
Yes. In fact, we have already spoken with some of the departments and asked them to make a list of items that they think, that I would like to be able to do this. So that when they do come and they interview them, they've kind of thought it through and have those ready.
And so this is a process of really custom tailoring IFAS to meet the county's needs.
I don't know it'll be so much custom tailoring it as using what is already available within the program that we
You're
are not,
aware-
we're not aware of or not currently using.
Educating.
Yes.
All right.
But
Yes, absolutely. We do have greater efficiencies through that education.
Yes.
And I like the fact that we're giving department heads pre-work before they get here, to save that time when people are on site to discuss it. Commissioner Bueller?
I was just going to say, there was a big time of transition when we went to IFAS and some concerns along the way. And so I think we are more familiar with it now. But this is a good time to review. I think there is much potential with this system, and workflow and all that sort of thing is definitely needed to make sure we are being most efficient. It had a pretty big price tag, as I remember, so I would be in favor of this as well.
Okay.
You made a motion, Commissioner?
So moved, yes. Sorry. Were you making one, Commissioner Cook?
I don't know. I thought Commissioner Archer, he's usually pointing out when I need to make the motion. I thought he'd already made it.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller to approve the request, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Betty. Next item.
Item C, Health Agency. Number 1, consider approval to apply for the Kansas Volunteer Commissioners Mini Grant of $750 for September 11th, National Day of Service and Remembrance Projects.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ed Kalis with the Health Agency. We're just here requesting to be able to apply for the $750 mini grant from the Kansas Volunteer Commission. Basically, because the Shawnee County's largest workout is going to be on September 11th, and this opportunity came up, we figured combining those would give us a chance to remember the people who died, survivors, and those who volunteered to help in that disaster are recognized. And we would do that through a booth through our MRC volunteers, which are the Medical Reserve Corps volunteers, and we would be offering the different kinds of handouts and educational materials that are mentioned in the request, which would include meeting preparedness kits and T-shirts. If you have any questions, please let me know.
We've been doing this several years, haven't we?
I believe this is our 5th year as
Fifth
the
year.
Shawnee County
Do
largest
we
workout.
have better participation year after year? What's the trend?
I believe it's going up.
Okay. Okay.
I do not know. I've been in
Okay.
on meetings, I've heard numbers, but if you need the exact numbers, I can get those.
Well,
Oh, here comes somebody who knows now.
okay.
Alice Weingartner, Health Agency. I had the privilege of being the chair of the first workout, and we had a goal of, I want to say we had 1,000 was our goal. While we didn't reach the goal that year, we have seen an increase in participation each year. The event has also grown to include a health fair. We have a number of community partners that participate, provide information about good diet, good exercise. It's become very family-oriented. And we have community partners who are experienced exercisers who come and lead those initiatives as well. And so it's really become something that people look forward to. It's been a very positive event.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Are there any other questions for?
I would make a motion to approve the application for the Kansas Volunteers Commission mini grant.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook to approve the application, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Next item, please, Cindy.
Item D, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider approval of an emergency purchase and payment of the invoice from Samco Inc. in an amount of $11,000 for the purchase and installation of a rebuilt compressor for the primary air conditioning unit that serves the North Annex building.
Commissioners, good morning. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. I would like to, before I talk about this item, while you're giving department heads the opportunity to help with the IFAS program, I'd like to have some input on the agenda and the order the items come up. I feel a little sensitive coming up here right after the Shawnee County's largest workout. Unless you guys want to use me for the before picture, then I'll be fine. Commissioners, this request before you this morning is replacement of the air compressor at the Shawnee North Annex. Was $11,000. It was an emergency purchase that we got that repaired just in time for the temperatures to return back to the lower 80s. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Make a motion, this was an emergency at the time, for our employees' safety and well-being and productivity. The North Annex is a building without any windows or many windows or doors or able to circulate, so it was an essential need at the time. But I move for approval of the expenditure.
A second.
Yeah, and I appreciate your working with our financial administrator in this, and that's the way it should be done, and I appreciate that. Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller to approve the emergency request. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Number 2, consider approval of sole source request to prepare room dividers and replace an air compressor in a total amount of $17,570 for the Manor Conference Center at the Kansas Expo Center.
Commissioners, in the Manor Conference Center, there are some room dividers that need to be repaired and an air conditioning unit that need to be repaired. That's the request before you this morning, is to use a sole source to repair those room dividers. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Questions from Mr. Knight?
Other than confirming that capital outlay fund is the source?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the sole source request.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer to approve, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Number 3, presentation of proposals for the Abbott Center.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. I'll kind of set the stage here a little bit for you, but then I would like to turn it over to Randy Luby, who's the Recreation Director, who can lead the discussion going forward. But if you recall, the Abbott Community Center has been before the Commission a couple of times. Recently, we had presentations made by 2 organizations, and I think, at least my read on this is, what we were hearing from the community is they wanted something for kids, a safe place for kids and programming for kids. Not that either one of those proposals didn't address it. It wasn't a primary function of either one of those 2 proposals. The Commission asked me to put together an RFP and go back out again. This time, instead of having 2 respondents, we have 5. What I wanted to do was to provide them 10-15 minutes, make their presentation here to the Commissioners and to the public, so and then wait and see what the County Commission has to recommend and what direction to take from here. With that being said, I turn this over to Randy Luby.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation. They're in order and we went alphabetical order for presentations. I would like, if Commissioners approve, to ask a couple questions after each presenter while they're up here at the podium. First up would be the Boys and Girls Club.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dawn McWilliams with the Boys and Girls Club of Topeka. I'd also like to introduce Miss Angela Johnson. She is our Director of Teen Services at the Boys and Girls Club. As you know, the Boys and Girls Club has been a pivotal part of the community since the 1950s. Starting out as the Boys Club, we have a traditional club site location at 550 Southeast 27th, but because of the impact that program has had on youth from the ages of 5 to 18, we've provided additional outreach services throughout our community in Shawnee County. That includes the Seaman District. We provide 2 additional club site locations, one at Logan Elementary, an operating elementary school, as well as Indian Creek, which was a school that closed, and Seaman asked us to provide club site services for students at Seaman. We also provide before-school services for all the elementary schools in the Seaman District as well. With that expertise in outreach services, capacity issues that we're currently experiencing at the Adams Club, as well as the needs that our community has expressed for addressing the needs of youth, specifically teens. When the Abbott Center discussions commenced, And we started to attend the community meetings. We heard from the NIA. We really felt that it was a really nice fit. It was an alignment in the direction that we wanted to go in looking for a separate setting outside of the Adams Club to establish a sole-standing teen center that focused on the needs of teens. And when I say teens, I mean middle schoolers as well as high schoolers. Our teens aren't just big kids. They are kids with very unique needs. I feel that with the ability to expand to a separate standing location would be able to better meet the needs of those teens. A lot of the teens that we see at the Adams Club have extremely high needs in regards to where they live, the supports that they need, the mentorship that they need, the academic support that they need, and the impact that the club has had on their lives, the graduation rates, the academic success, the decisions that they're making are very representative of the positive impact that the Boys and Girls Club has on these kids' lives. The Abbott Center would allow us to expand the opportunity to reach more kids' lives, especially teens. This would be huge to us. We're basically at capacity. Yesterday was the first day of school for many middle schoolers, and we had 40 kids attend on the very first day, which was huge. We only have one section of the club that is designated for high schoolers. We've done satisfaction surveys. We've talked to parents. You know, our teens are speaking out. They need a place that's conducive to their needs. We also believe that by setting up an established location for just teens, it would be attractive for other teens to come. Many of our teens come because it's their choice. They don't necessarily have to be there. They're there because they want to be better people, do better things, have more experiences, develop life plans, and graduate with a plan in place so that they become successful citizens in our community. I believe with the ability to have more space, specifically the Abbott Center, we would be able to shape that in a direction that would have greater impact and a larger capacity of kids that we can currently reach. Again, the first day, 40 kids, it doesn't maybe sound like a huge number, but for kids who are choosing to come, that is a large number, and I can tell you that by the end of the school year, that will probably triple. And again, by having a separate standing location, being able to operate in hours that are conducive to the needs of teens, providing them attractive things that makes them want to be part of something and to become better people, we believe that that'll be a draw for many teens in our community who really need us, and who need those supports in regards to mentorship, supporting them in the education environment, and being able to make better choices in their life. We also believe at the Boys and Girls Club that the only way to do exceptional work is to partner with our community. One area that we have really listened to and take great value in is the NIA in that particular neighborhood. We have listened to the needs. We have been able to really complement what they're articulating they would like to see that center utilized for in meeting the needs of kids. But also by reaching the needs of the younger children and getting their parents educated on the services that we have at the Adams Club. So we wouldn't just be solely focusing in on the teens, but addressing that entire neighborhood as a whole as to the opportunities that those kids have with the Boys and Girls Club. We've also sat down with El Centro. As you know, that's a very high Hispanic population. It's very important to us that we reach those kids. That population is ever growing. Those kids are in need just as well as other kids in our community. They have agreed to be the conduit in educating many of the people in that neighborhood as to the Boys and Girls Club, assisting with the enrollment process, as well as providing resources that many of those families need. Another partner is Harvesters. There isn't a pantry, food pantry for that neighborhood in a very close proximity. The goal of the Boys and Girls Club for our teen program is to participate in a number of volunteer opportunities. Our hope would be to establish a pantry location that our kids would run in order to meet the needs of the neighborhood in regards to food scarcity issues and health and nutrition issues as well. Golden Gloves, as you are aware, has been established for many years in the Abbott Center, has provided great things for youth in our community. We have had a number of conversations and truly believe that both our philosophies are in alignment with really helping kids develop a strong inner core and inner self, and we view them as a very vital partner as well. KCSL is a partner to helping identify those kids that are at high risk, kids that are homeless. They would provide outreach and referral services also to that club location as well. We won't operate in a bubble. We believe it's very important to work with our community partners to be able to provide these kids the very best we possibly can, but also to meet the needs of that particular community location that is needed. We partner with many other organizations to bring in opportunities that kids wouldn't provide, sports programs, college visits, addressing issues in high school, helping them prepare to really become successful citizens. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, all of those different opportunities that kids may not have an opportunity to provide. Having a separate location would allow us to really expand those opportunities for those kids. Again, the Boys and Girls Club isn't just thinking about this opportunity because of the situation with the Abbott Center. This has been in our strategic plan. This is something that we need to do as an organization. This is something that we need to do for our community, and that's meet the needs of teens. And again, they have very unique needs, and we believe that we would be able to provide exceptional services for those kids.
Are there, is it Q&A too?
Here for the questions.
Do I need to move over?
No, your fault. Thanks, Don. Couple things I wanted to know is, with Boys and Girls Club, is your goal to be self-sufficient after a few years and maybe be able to take over the ownership of the building?
I did see those numbers the other day as to what needs to be invested in that building. So I would not be able to commit to that at this time because we have just gotten the Adams Club, which is a building that was built in the 1970s, up to the level that it needs to be at. We are very successful in diversified funding. What we are hoping is to mirror a relationship that we have with Seaman. The school that we provide our after-school program, summer program, school day out program in is a school that Indian Creek owns, and they allow us to provide those services. They maintain the building. They make sure that things are operating in accordance to how they should, and then what we do is we provide the services. So we would mirror that type of service provision that we have with Seaman. So acquisition of the building, probably not necessarily possible for us within the short term. In the long term, that would be something that we would like to consider. Boys and Girls Club of America has a national initiative to focus on teens. We have, within the last 6 months, been the recipient of a number of grant awards because of the average daily attendance that we have of teens, because of our recruitment and retention efforts. And I only see, with the ability to expand that, more opportunities for funding and opportunity to sustain that program.
Yeah, Don, can you kind of explain the funding you're expecting from the county with your proposal?
The funding would necessarily be linked to the building itself. It would be the utilities, to cover the utilities of the building. Again, this mirrors our relationship with Seaman. It works very well. We have a memorandum of understanding. This is what the district will provide. This is what the Boys and Girls Club will provide. It works very well. It's been working very well for the past 4 years. Shawnee County Parks and Rec would pay for the utilities and the maintenance of the building, and then the Boys and Girls Club would provide all of the programs, services, staffing, and availability of use of the building.
In the maintenance of the building, Don, would Boys and Girls Club take care of the paper supplies, the air filters, light bulbs, or would that be on the county to come in to do that type of?
We would provide that.
Okay.
That would be something that the Boys and Girls Club would provide.
That is all I have.
Okay. Are there other questions for Don, Commissioner Bueller? Okay. Commissioner Cook?
Just
Thank
one.
you.
if we look at Abbott Center as being a teen center, for the children that are not teens that live in the community, would there be an opportunity for transportation to the Adams Center? Or is there a way for them, if you have a family that has younger children and older children, how do you get them all to the right spots?
Absolutely. Organized chaos, but done very well. We pick up from 12 schools in the USD school system. Those schools are the schools with the highest percentage of kids at risk. A lot of families aren't aware of that. One of the things that we had brainstormed with the NIA group was running a shuttle back and forth from the Boys and Girls Club Adams location to the Abbott Center to make sure the little kids who necessarily weren't picked up via the school got to the Adams Club. And we have a lot of teens that have siblings there would be only one point of pickup for parents as well, if that was necessary. But primarily, it would be educating those families that the schools that their children go to, they have an opportunity to get the Boys and Girls Club bus from that school to the club, and then we would shuttle those kids back to their neighborhood via the Abbott Center as a drop-off location.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you.
Appreciate your proposal.
Thanks, Don. Next up will be the East Topeka Community Development Corporation, and I believe Bill Owens is here.
Good morning, Commissioners. First of all, my name is Philip Owens. I'm with the East Topeka Community Development Corporation. I'm here today to speak on behalf of East Topeka Community Development, and the rest of my group is here too. First of all, I want to thank God for being here this morning. I've been through some ups and downs all during the week, and I first want to give honor to him that I'm able to make it here this morning. Second of all, the Boys Club, Faith Hard Works Ministry, Sam Abbott, and the True Foundation School. Every one of these individuals in business I'm well known of, and I know the people. I'm here to represent whoever the commissioner's gonna put in there. And I would like for it to be at a timely manner. Like I said before, between the 8 to 9 months of trying to get proposals in, make a decision, because our kids need it. Whether if it's the Boys Club, Faith Hard Works, Sam Abbott, Mr. Swede, these people have been people in my life since I've been here, and I've been here for 55 years. And I asked the commissioner to do the right thing. Please don't take 8 to 9 months to make a decision. I'm here to represent any of these groups. I'm tired. I got things to do. I can't make a decision to go either or if the commissioners does not make a decision. We vote you in. We depend on you to do the right things with our tax dollars. Why does it take so long for the Abbott Center? All the other community centers is open. We cannot keep moving in this direction and not have any answers. Now, we all fall short of what we're supposed to do in life, period. Because he already said, we all guilty of not doing the right things. All I ask today, and I'm not gonna go over this proposal because you done had it for over too many months. I just want you to make the right decisions. I will stand by whoever you put in there, but let's get it done. This is, to me, it's just buying time. And I don't know why. Any of these groups in here are able to do it, but how long is it gonna take? And it pisses me off because 55 years and I ain't seen no improvements. Look at our east side. The Abbott Center shouldn't even be looking that way. The floors, the walls, the paint, come on. All we got is a spray park. Mr. Swede needs help over at the East Topeka School. He ain't asking for it, or if he is, we don't know. But I'm saying, come on. That's a community over there. We all supposed to be in this together. And it's like separating us. I ain't never seen such a thing. For 55 years, come on, please. And that's all I have to say today.
Thank you.
Bill, just for the public record, I know I read your proposal and I know all the figures. You were planning on being self-sufficient after?
Yes, we're an economic development corporation. We did it for one purpose, and that was to try to improve the east side. Are you guys gonna do it, or do we have to go to the U.S. Treasury Department and try to get some money? Come on. What kind of answer you want me to give you? You guys already know what the east side look like. The streets, the lights, the sewer. We're playing stormwater drainage that we don't even have. Well, we still got ditches. Culverts that's smashed. We got graffiti going on. And then you act like you want us to pay for that kind of stuff. Come on. It's sure, everybody would like to sit up here and give you a dream and ask for some money and get the resources that we need. You got tax dollars, and I'm quite sure some of us over there is paying our taxes, that we can put our money back into that community. Just because you're banging a Walmart store on, that's not just gonna take care of everything that need to be done. Help us get the east side back in order.
That's all the questions I have.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you. Commissioner Cook, any questions?
No, thank you, Phil.
Next presenter will be the Faith and Hard Works Ministry. Curtis, I believe, is here.
Not a very good. No problem. How are you? Fine. On that microphone. All right, thank you. Well, I'd just like to say good morning to our commission. I spent a lot of time at these meetings, but I was across the street. No harm intended.
None taken.
My name is Joe Douglas Jr., and I am the former city fire chief for the city of Topeka, long since retired now. I'm a proud board member of Faith and Hard Works Ministry, Inc., formerly the Juan Poppy Abbott Center. I would be totally remiss, though, if I did not commend the cleanup effort put forth by the staff, including our director. The young people, the parents, the friends, the neighbors, and the passersby who worked diligently to make the building livable. It took a Herculean effort to get the building into a state worthy of occupation. I don't want to be the one to tell these youngsters that they will not have the opportunity to continue to enjoy the fruits of their labor. When I look at the center now and I witness firsthand the advancements they are making, the exuberance they have, and the prideful attitude of the children and the dedicated staff, I see clearly that, oh, I lost my place. I see clearly that the main commodities exhibited here, don't want to miss that, are self-respect, fellowship, self-confidence, and an overriding sense of pride, purpose, and achievement. Now, wait a minute. These children are not supposed to be capable of those responses, are they? Nobody told them. The good news is that all of our competitors here are on the same track, and we certainly congratulate them on their successes. All our children deserve the very best that we can give them. Leadership is always the key to the success of any organizational effort. Our exemplary leader, Mr. Curtis Pitts, is not only capable, but a well-educated administrator. Additionally, he has prepared himself academically. He could easily have chosen to prosper personally in the private sector, but he didn't do that. His heart lies elsewhere. We are indeed most fortunate to have a young man of his caliber, offering his skill, dedication, and deep internal feelings of love for every child with which he comes in contact. He's never too busy to answer a question or provide guidance to a child who may need a nudge or maybe a push every now and then. I get a little choked up sometime when I start talking about this. He is serving the youth from dawn to dusk and has never been heard to complain, except for sincerely wishing for more hours in the day. Lastly, the children literally adore him. Best of all, they respect him. And then, as I look around and see board members here, I can only say one thing: what a powerful board. It's my extreme pleasure to have the honor and privilege of serving with such an august body of long-proven civil leaders. Each name is a household icon, and all have left their personal mark of excellence on our beloved city at every level throughout Topeka over the years. In closing, I'd just like to say thank you to our dedicated elected Shawnee County Commissioners for the caring, thoughtful, hands-on decision-making and the timeless hours you spend on our behalf. Your prideful efforts do not go unnoticed, so we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just have a couple questions, and I don't know, it may be more for Curtis. That's what I was guessing. Oh, you're still one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'd like to thank Mr. Douglas for his kind words and the time he spends with our kids. I want to make sure that one thing about it, you can't see it from over here. Hoping that she can come in and give me a little help here. Smart man knows when to not act like he's in charge and get a good woman to lead and guide us. I'm going to give you a little video presentation about what we've done so far. First of all, we want to thank the county commissioners for the opportunity to provide those services this summer. My name is Curtis Pitts. I want to echo what's been said here today. We have some awesome groups applying for the operation of Abbott Center. The thing that makes this decision so critical is that we have a part of our community, our family, that's hurting right now. And in any situation when a part of your family is hurting, we always have to rally around that part of the family and reach out to them, pull them up. I remember the kid my parents sent me to Kansas. They didn't have any money, so they hand washed my clothes. I remember when the church had a circle prayer and took up a collection. They didn't send the money to the school. They handed it to me because they knew I had to be on the bus for 2 days to get here. Then I remember my son coming up in a single home and many of the people in this room coming to his aid. When we needed things, Mr. Owens, Mr. Abbott, Mr. Douglas, Mr. Alexander, Ms. Betts, and many moms had to serve as surrogate moms for them. All I'm asking you to do is take into consideration the fact that we're not a speculative organization. We have applied science to our programs and activities. And I remember researching ACT and SAT tests. Just the words and the phrases that kids use and the words that they learn the meaning of as children affect their test scores. And we also realize that in our part of the neighborhood, we have the highest free and reduced lunch programs almost in the state of Kansas. So we're dealing with kids who are coming in and hoarding food, not stealing food. We're coming in and having kids who are coming from homes who brought whatever they could that first week of camp so that they knew that we didn't have a food program at that time until 501 was coming in. We saw moms from Nanny Soul Food and Mama Shirley's shut down their operation and come and cook for our kids that week. We saw guys who were supposed to be notorious in the neighborhood come in and start mopping and helping clean up. We've seen people who've turned away what we call negative influences from the community center because they didn't want their kids, the kids in the neighborhood, to have to experience that. The Abbott Center, East Lawn, is so impactful and important that it has been the hub for years for a community that's in need. Everyone's talking about, they want to be right about today. But if you really want to be right, you have to do the right thing. You have to sacrifice. And if you sacrifice and do what's in your heart and do what your conscience tells you to do, you have to allow us to create a partnership with these other organizations and continue our work. Because if you start and recreate the wheel, because I can tell you right now, there is no time out. And for months and months, I'm sure the staff and everyone told you that I didn't want to be involved with the Abbott Center. Until a young man came and told me, says, Curtis, we thought we'd be hanging out at the center and not be in gangs. And then, a couple of weeks later, this young man was murdered. And so it lets you know that in East Topeka, we don't have time. We don't have an opportunity to say what might work. We have to go with something that's tangible and happening right now. Do we have all the answers? No, but with our board and the other people that's in this room, we'll be able to get the job done. Self-responsibility. The things that are going on in our community, the community has a responsibility to be the primary fixer of those problems. We can't just come in here and say that you have to give us all the solutions. You have to give us all the dollars. It's a partnership. We own 50% of the problem and 50% of the solution. Every kid in my program knows they don't get to come in for free. Camp starts with us with cleaning up. You're going to have to participate in neighborhood cleanups. You're going to have to remove gang graffiti because it's your community. It's not people from the other parts of town that's coming over there throwing trash on the ground. All I'm asking you to do is take this into consideration. For 9 months, you had a center that was closed. Within a 2-week period, we're operating the center. And as I hand you these sign-in sheets, you'll see hundreds of kids coming in per week. So it's not something that we can speculate on what might happen. All I can tell you is the kids know what has happened because they're in there doing it. You had high school kids who volunteered almost 50 hours a week to come in and serve as camp counselors. Parents coming in after working night shifts at Goodyear and the Target Distribution Center to come in and help our kids. We're taking ownership of the problem, and we're asking you to allow us to have ownership in the solution. It might hurt, and it might seem uncomfortable, but you have a choice. You can do the right thing, or you can just be right. And in this family we call Topeka, and our nation as we struggle and grow, We have to learn to take pride in every corner, every crevice that we call Topeka. Again, our children are watching, and they're not watching from a distance. They had to go in there and do the work. And I thank you to our board. I wish I had the heart and the ability to live up to the things that they have asked me to do. And I can tell you this much. If you think I can say some things and get you in line and whip you in shape, go to a board meeting with them sometimes, and they will get you in check. And I do want to say to the East Topeka Development Corporation, Mr. Abbott, Mr. Sweet, the Boys and Girls Club, this is critical time. And I ask you all to partner with us, and I ask the county to please allow us to finish the job that we didn't ask for, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, it was given to us, and we've held the line, and we've moved forward. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Curtis.
Thanks,
Randy,
Curtis.
you had some questions?
Yeah, I just got a couple real quick questions, Curtis. I'm familiar with your proposal. Was your organization planning to be self-sufficient or take ownership of the building down the road?
That would be our goal, is to have a 5-year plan where we phase out the ownership of the Abbott Center. And also our goal is to do a capital campaign to assist the county, not let you off the hook with some of those major needs and structural repairs. And I also want to say that we've known about those repairs for 20-some years now. So it's not a surprise to any of us. You know, some things were grandfathered in because the center had been there for so long. But the truth of it is these repairs are nothing new, from shifting due to the change in the ramp down at the Senior Citizen Center to not having a sump pump that was capable of handling the water flows and heavy rain flow, all the way to the, the putting in of the water park, which was an awesome, awesome thing. It's far from what needs to be there, but we also have a responsibility in helping you guys do that. Not just time, but we need to be generating dollars through your foundation to make this stuff happen.
Thank you, Curtis. One last question. Can you, I know you're going to need compensation from the county. Can you kind of talk about what you're needing there?
And one of the things we did want to point out in our proposal, it talked about the staffing needs that we have. Please be informed that according to our financial preparation in dollars, we're asking the county to pay a certain amount of the staffing needs, and we're also going to match many of those dollars to pay staff so that they would have a livable income and get the quality of people that you have in here. In our group, we want to say that we have 80% of our young men and women, our young men, 80% of our people who come through our program, they're the primary care person for our kids. We've also had so many young people that have gone off to college and come back, that, you know, we have people who are, you know, at the chamber, that are lobbyists at the state, that we know who are very qualified. We have a young man who just graduated with a degree in music and the arts that I'm like, man, I wish I had his talent. Some of these kids, your greatest joy you have in putting together a program like this and seeing the long-term need is when the kids can come back and be more capable than you are. And so that's kind of where we're at with the development of our program.
No more questions?
Okay, thank you again, Curtis.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Did you?
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Did you?
Thank you.
Okay.
The next presenter is Samuel Reverend Abbott.
Wish I knew we had all this at our disposal. I would have done the same thing, Mr. Pitts. But thanks to the Parks and Rec and to the commissioners for the opportunity to present for Abbott Community Center on today. I'm here. I'm here not as Samuel Abbott, but with Shekinah Glory Worship Center, our church, or Shekinah Glory Ministries Incorporated. And we were the church that was there where the seniors were for 2 years. And during that process of time, we got to see what Mr. Pitts was talking about. We had to go through the water. We had to go through floods. We had to go through water coming in through the windows, water coming in through the doors. We had to go through, one Sunday we came in and there was a big old leak right from the center where we had the sanctuary part, and just came and just went all over the place. So we had to clean up one Sunday morning before we could even have service. But while we were there, we had started a program entitled Triple H, and we're still doing that today in our current location. Triple H is something that came out of birth of wanting the kids to go back to school with good haircuts and good hairdos, but it ended up being something that we did every month. Triple H stands for free haircuts, free hairdos, and free hygiene kits. As of this past Monday, first Monday, we did 75 kids where our church is located right now, which is right next door to Chuck Burger. We have sign-in sheets too to present those as well if you need them. Not only that, we started this summer what we call a free sack lunch program. These are all things that we don't get any funding for, we don't get any grants for. These come out of the dollars of the members of Shekinah Glory. And the free sack lunch program started as I thought it was going to be kids that came to get free food, but it ended up being adults, seniors, and homeless people. I was unaware of the number of homeless people that are in that community that came, and as of last week, we had done 375 lunches, and that's only from Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 1. So for a 2-hour span, for 4 days, we got over 300 people that we're providing lunch for. We're not partnering with anybody at this time to do that, but we're looking to do those type of things. We also started there at Abbott Community Center a tutoring program that we was being sponsored by us and the Highland Park High School National Honor Society. We have recently secured them again, as well as 2 groups from Washburn University. The Halo Department and the BSU will be our tutors for this year. And the program that we have at the core of our proposal there is called Me First, and Me First is entitled My Education First. And that will be a before and after school care program. Being that 501 has late starts again this year, some parents will need a place to drop their kids off that is viable and that is reliable, and that will make sure that kids get to school. And in that, we'll be able to feed them breakfast, and then after school, we'll be able to pick them up. And the core or the main focus is their education. These tutors will come in and they will help them tutor and get their homework done before they're able to play ball and different games and other activities there as well. Also, my wife and I sponsored or was the owners of On Hope's Child Empowerment Center for 7 years. 5 of the 7 years, we were located at 2514 South Kansas Avenue. Just north of us was the Bowden Family Car Lot. Just south of us is the veterinarian's office. And in that, we plan to bring a facility or a child care center to Abbott Community Center so we can service that group of kids as well during the daytime while most kids are at school. And in that, you have to go through KDHE regulations. And so we know that quite well. And part of the things of KDHE regulations is every employee has to pass a rigorous background check and a KBI check. We want to be a licensed facility and not just a facility that's out there running any type of program. So we will be licensed in that area, and so all the staffing will have to go through those procedures. So you'll have qualified staff as well. They also have to be trained in certain areas as well too, so they would have to go through those trainings and things. And in that, we won't this time, because of the modifications that would have to be done to Abbott Community Center to accompany infants. In the child care part, we won't be able to do that because you have to have sinks and all these different things in one of the rooms and all that stuff. So we can't do that, but we will be able to take from 2 years old on up. And then the summer program, when the summertime comes, if the school is out, Me First will turn into a summer program, which will still be focused on some educational components, because we find out our children lose a lot of what they've learned throughout the school year if they're not continuing with their educational part. So we have some partners with that. You see in your proposal, you have some things from Safe Streets. You have some things from other companies in there. We have also are willing to partner with any of the other groups, as well as Mr. Pitts has already said. And with me being in 501, I was the community outreach coordinator, as well as director of mentorship and the extended day program for Highland Park High School during the SIG grant. So I have those type of connections we could bring in as well, and that expertise. And now I am the career vocational transition assistant through the Heartland Works grant. And in that, we're still, they have assured me that they'd be willing to back us up, as well as providing a place to have some of those young folks, get them jobs and training and help them out in the summer as well. So that's pretty much the core of what our, this part. And in the evening, after we have done the after-school program, we will open a community center back up to be a community center, where it's open gym and they can come in. And what we were asking the county, one of the things is to do like you did at Rice World and get the internet system up, get the computers up where people can come in and have access to that. We still want it to be a place where the NIA can meet. We still want it to be a place where things can go on. We want to utilize the bottom half as we do have a clothing bank, and we were partners with Harvesters until our current location. We don't have the room to provide all the food, but getting back at Abbott Community Center, we'd be able to reopen that up and have a food pantry as well. Not only that, but be able to continue to feed people as well. We want to extend the invitation out to the Golden Gloves for them to come back as well, to utilize that part as well. And any of the other groups that want to utilize the basement area to do whatever programs they want to do. We want to make Abbott Community Center a community hub like it used to be and partner with everybody. That's what's needed in a community. Now, to answer this question for anybody that's wanting to know, will he move his church back in there? No. Our church will stay where it's currently at. Abbott Community Center will be Abbott Community Center. And that's my proposal.
Thanks, Reverend. In your proposal, I thought I read your goal is to be self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient after, yes, sir.
And take ownership if possible in the near future after
Yes, sir.
2 years, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Can you state the compensation that you are expecting back from the county to be able to run your
Yes,
program?
sir. What we're asking for the compensation for, much like Mr. Pitts, is for staffing and stuff. And plus, when you're first starting out in a child care facility, there's a lot of things that have to be done. And as Mr. Pitts already stated, a lot of things that needs to be done. But then if you look inside of there, a lot of equipment is broken. A lot of tables and chairs need to be fixed up. So all of that stuff have to be done in order for you to pass licensing. So the compensation we're asking for is to help. We would utilize that, bringing in, getting new equipment, getting new toys. Some of the toys are destroyed, and some of the balls are destroyed. So we have to get new things of that nature, as well as pay for staffing until the child care portion is up and running and able to stand on its own. We're asking that for 2 years, and on the third year, because we were believing that the child care part by itself would be able to sustain the building. With Parkdale being demolished and then Salvation Army closing down, there's no viable child care center in that area. And so we want to service all ranges of kids, not just a certain range, but all the ranges of kids in this one place.
That's all the questions I have.
Commissioner, any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Reverend.
Thank you.
very much.
And last but not least, we have the True Foundation and Reverend Sweet.
Good morning. I been before you before and kind of shared with you the plans that I have for the Abbott Center. First of all, I want to start out by saying that I've been working with young people for a long time, over 40-some years, and I seen the problem that we was having over in that area some years ago. Like some of the people who were here before I got up was talking about the need for the area. I recognized that need a long time ago and started trying to do something about it. I started to trying to organize some of the people over in that area to try to brainstorm, get some ideas on what we really needed. One of the first thing that we were dealing with was the crime that was over in the area during the 20 years ago and so forth, and drug houses and those kinds of things. Well, we took some ownership of going over and purchasing some of those houses. We tore them down and got rid of the drug houses and so forth to make the area more community friendly. I myself
have hired a lot of those people over in that area to work and help me with the East Topeka Junior High School. So I provided some income for quite a few of the people over there so that they could feed their children. Some of them was having problems getting employment, and now that they're on their feet, when I need help, they come back and try to give me a hand. My proposal is this: I want to buy the building, and I know that once the building is bought, the community will have some say-so on the direction that it will go. And if all of these smart people that we have in this room can make some decisions for themselves on how they want their community to be. And I believe that one thing I love about America, let me say this. What I love about America is that you have an opportunity to change your destiny if you want to do it. And I'm willing to invest the money into that area, or continue to invest money into that area, to make that community change. We have spent a lot of money in that area so far, cleaning up the blight and trying to make it safe. We have acquired other properties that we can use as training centers for our children, not just the adolescents, because this is why we really want the Abbott Center, is because we want to divide the teenagers from the adolescents. We want to put the K through 8 over there and allow us the opportunity to work with those children without the influences of the older children. And use the East Topeka Junior High School for the older children. And we've had them over there, 300 or 400 of them at a time. So I think we've had as high as 600 kids over there at a time playing in basketball leagues. I'm sure that Recreation Commissioner, he probably knows my brother John and I had the Wild Wild West Basketball League, and it was probably considered as being the best in one of the this whole state of Kansas. We had some pretty good games over there. We intend to have it back. We're about 4 to 5 weeks out on completing the East Topeka Junior High School. I've had some people to come over and take a look at the building and let them know that we are working. I had heard that there was rumors around town that we wasn't doing anything, so I called myself wanting to ask Commissioner Cook to come over and take a look, and so he could see that I wasn't just letting grass grow up underneath my feet, that I was doing what needed to be done to complete the building. And the building is going to look just as nice as this room here. In 4 weeks' time, I'm going to try to have an open house and let people come in and take a look around. I had one of my right-arm men hurt himself helping somebody else do another job, and he's been in one arm for about 4 weeks, and so I'm not as far along as I wanted to be. But I hired 4 more guys to come in and help us in the evening after they get off from the other jobs and on the weekends. So we're going to make up that time that we lost. I intend to buy the building right away. Whenever you tell me, Reverend Sweet, you can have it, I'm going to meet with your purchasing department, take care of it, and all about my business. I would like, because some people are saying that they need staff. I need staff as well. If you have any, if we can come up with some kind of contract on helping me with staffing for maybe 6 months or something like that, or if you could come up with something to help me with the recreational part of it, I'd be happy to enter into some kind of a contract with you where we can make sure that things go on till I can get a hold. We have a beautiful auditorium. I think Commissioner Cook can contest to that. I got it looking like the Grand Theater. I intend to put that building to work to earn money to take care of it as well as East Topeka Junior High School. Not only that, I've got some people who got some resources, have seen what I'm doing, and willing to help see this thing through. I don't tell people where I get my water from the well from, because everybody would be going to my well. And so I don't mind sharing, but they say share what you got but keep what you need. And I need those people. So what I'm trying to say is that there's more. I'm trying to open up an avenue where these kids, we can get them from the very adolescent age until they're teenagers, and we can give them some kind of career plans where they will be successful in life, and we've got the resources to do it. And I've heard people saying they want to bus kids out of that area and take them to other places. I'd like to see them stay right there. You know, busing I've never liked busing and the whole time that we've had it. But it was a means to an end, I imagine. But I've always wanted to build good schools in the community, put good teachers in that school, and let kids stay where they're supposed to be, right there in their family. Let the people in the community be a part of it. I remember some of the best times I had as a kid when I used to go to school and have cakewalks and all that kind of thing. And all the people from the community came, and the mothers baked the cakes and so forth. And we had a sense of community togetherness. We need that back more than we need anything else. This past week, we had kids shot down in this nation by police officers. And you know, the only way to change that is that we have to have the police department, our kids, our families, all working together. Because police officer just worried about his life. He got kids he want to go home to in the evening. Excuse me. This is serious business, and somebody's got to bite the bullet and get it done, because I'm getting tired of preaching funerals. I'm sorry. I'm not usually an emotional guy, but when you see kids dying in the streets, parents suffering, and you the guy they come to for constellation, and you want to do something and people tie your hands so you can't do it. You wonder why all the tests when you're trying to do your best. But it's a way of life. We're all going through that. You, as well as I am. We want the best for our children. You want the best for your children, and I want the best for mine. My neighbors, they want the best for their children. And all I'm saying is that if you give us a chance, I think you'll be proud of the fact, the decision that you made working with us and the other people in this room working with us. I think you'll be
proud of the fact of what that community turns out to be. And I'm going to quit because I am too emotional to be standing up here in front of people and on TV or whatever. Please don't put that on TV. But anyway, that's my story, and I've got the expertise to take care of a lot of those things that's wrong with the Abbott Center. This ain't something that I started doing yesterday. My uncle and them had me out carrying bricks and stuff when I was 8 years old. And I think they grew me up for this particular task. So a lot of those things that needs to be done over there, we can get it done. And I've talked to some people about the water situation. We seem to think we can fix it. I've got bobcats and bulldozers and all that kind of thing, and so a lot of that work we can do ourselves. Painting the building and all those kinds of things, I've got guys I pay that will be more than happy to do it, you know. And I'm sure that if I ask Curtis or some of the other groups here, that they'll be more than willing to jump in and help out and get the center up to where it needs to be. But anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you, Reverend.
All right.
You might just stay here for a
Okay.
second. He's answered most of my financial questions. I do think you're selling yourself short. I've seen photos of what you've done
Yeah.
over there. Commissioner Cook has seen it. I think it exceeds this room quite a bit. Thank you.
It's a beautiful building.
Are there any questions?
I would just add that I do look forward in 4 weeks or so to the opening of the East Topeka Junior High. Reverend Sweet should be very successful in everything that he does, and he should be very proud with the achievements he's made with that facility. It's amazing.
Commissioner, could I have 1 minute?
Of course. The chair recognizes Jack Alexander, former city executive and
That's enough.
all-around good guy.
That's enough. That's enough. For the you that don't know me, I'm Jack Alexander, and for you that do know me, I'm Jack Alexander. You've heard some wonderful proposals. I had a little thing that I was going to do. I'm certainly with Hard Work Ministries, but I sit here and I have heard positive feedback from people who want to do something in the Eastern Corridor. Many of us grew up right there in that neighborhood within a 4-block area. Some of us still own a little property in and around that area. We want to see it work. And if nothing else, what you have heard are proposals that someplace along the line, you know, there's only going to be, and I don't want to call the person a winner, there's going to be one entity that's going to operate that center. But I think that you have 3 and 4 other entities that are going to buy in and help. We solicit any support that you can get for whomever receives the opportunity to operate that Senate. I looked, Bob, why did I look at you and say senator?
Your vision's going bad in your old age, Jack.
Excuse me. But for whoever operates that center, you know, they're going to have the support of the community, and we want you to know we appreciate the opportunity for what you're doing and for what you're going to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
John.
That's what happens when you get old.
If you've seen any of these county commission meetings, I'll answer to anything 2 of the 3 of them call. So, Commissioners, I would like to, before we end this, I would like to clarify a couple things that Reverend Sweet did say. Yes, I do know his brother, and I've umpired a lot of baseball games with him from high school to college and all of those type of things. Been in many situations in which we were each other's only friend that night. And I asked John one time when we were leaving the Diamond one of those times if he was ever afraid that the crowd was going to get unruly with us. And he said, no, because if we have to run to our cars, I know I can beat you. They'll catch you first. So anyway, I guess that's a pretty tight friendship, I guess. With that being said, Commissioners, you really had, and I put that in my proposal, you really have, I said 3 proposals, but after the presentations today. I think you're down to 2. I think rejecting all proposals and closing the facility should be probably removed, but I'll leave that up to the county commissioners. I do know that when we form as we begin to form partnerships more and more over the last few years, one of the things that we look for first in developing these partnerships is the commitment from the partners. And I saw a lot of commitment from all 5 of the proposals today. So with that being said, I'll stand for any questions or any direction from the commission.
Questions or comments for Mr. Knight?
Not at this time.
Shelley? I'd like to thank everyone for coming this morning. I would like to thank you for your proposals, your support. I also like to recognize T.J. Brown, who currently serves on the Topeka City Council, for coming this morning, and Jack. We need to get the show on the road, and we're going to have a decision made by the end of August and get the show on the road. Okay?
Commissioner,
Yes.
we also
Commissioner.
have Tanaya Gibbs of
Oh.
the NIA that was meeting at the Abbott Community Center
That's right.
and as an integral part of the community as well.
Okay. Thank you. Next item, please.
Item E, Commission. Number 1, consider appointing voting delegates for the Kansas Association of Counties annual meeting to be held in November.
I think, let's see, 2 years ago, we all 3 went. Last year, Commissioner Bueller, you were able to make it. I do think I have on my calendar the ability to make it there. I don't know if any other commissioners are there. We just have to delegate who's going to be there.
I'll make a motion to delegate Commissioner Cook for that assignment. You're smiling. I know you've got things going on in the month of November. So, motion made to nominate Commissioner Cook to serve, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no.
I would also make a motion that we make Richard Eckert our alternate, as he will be there as the representative for the KAC.
I'll second.
Okay. All right, that's confusing. All right, motion made to have Commissioner Cook serve as the main delegate and Rich Eckert as the alternate. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0.
I'm looking to Jane because we also need a second alternate. We need a delegate, a first, and a second alternate.
We don't all have to stay in the same hotel room, do we?
No.
Isn't Allison on the board?
Yes, I'll move to delegate Allison Lejos as second alternate. You can do that.
Motion made to designate Allison Lejos as the second delegate. All in favor, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0.
For simple tasks.
Does that
It's
tidy
always-
that up?
It's always complicated. I don't know why.
Okay. Next item, please.
Administrative Communications.
Administrative communications this morning. Yes, Commissioner
A
Bueller.
couple things, just had the opportunity to go to several of the National Night Out events. All of the 5 events I went to were in our parks, and they were well attended and lots of fun. Also, I had an opportunity to go to the it was the K-State Extension Field Day and learn about abnormal corn ears. It was really interesting. Actually,
Have
it
an
was
exciting life.
It was a beautiful evening in the Kansas River Valley. It was nice and quiet out in this cornfield, and I learned a lot. It's very interesting. So anyway, I just wanted to share that.
I don't know what to say. No, I can't. I think that's insurmountable. So, any other? Okay, next item, please.
Executive session?
Yeah, there is a need this morning for an executive session, and I move that we adjourn into executive session for the following matters: personnel, non-elected personnel, consultation with an attorney, which would be deemed privileged, employer-employee negotiations, whether or not in consultation with a representative of the body or agency, and also preliminary discussions relating to the acquisition of real property. And I'll make the motion that we do that. No action is anticipated for a period not to exceed 20 minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer to go in the executive session for a period not to last more than 20 minutes. Seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. We are in executive session.
You guys have had quite a bit of turnover. You guys have had quite, I mean, some new people, some